I'm back. I thought we were done with the bedroom mantle. Still love the mantle, love the less is more, but we have a new project. Now you remember I told you I had ordered the tile for this surround, was ready to go and tile it over the summer, had to order extra tile. It took a really long time to get here. By the time I got here, I had moved on to other projects and was super busy. So I've been toying with, can I get this tile before Christmas? The answer to that is probably not. So someone years ago sealed up all of the fireplaces in the house except for the living room. This is just sheetrock. We have just painted it white. You can see where I was doing math and marking off where my tiles are gonna go back when I thought I was tiling in a couple of days. And I just kept thinking, what can I do fun there for the holidays? I have a friend who's a really talented artist who does window painting downtown. I thought, do I get her to paint something Christmassy? But that seemed wasteful. I've toyed around with, do I tile it? But I thought, wouldn't it be better if I waited till the first of the year when all the Christmas is down and there's not as much to do to tile it? So like you, I went to the internet for inspiration and I found people using wrapping paper on their walls. I remember that my grandmother used to wrap her doors with wrapping paper. And I thought, what if I find the perfect wrapping paper and make it look like it's wallpapered? And I have done just that. Love this paper. It ironically is Packed Party, which is the same brand as our little lights and the garland that I had taken down. So we're going to put this festive downtown scene on here. Now, as luck would have it, it's about an inch too short. Of course it is. So I'm going to have to piece at the very bottom, but that's okay. We're going to figure out the best way to do that. And we're about to get started. Okay, so step one, there's a little bit of this building at the bottom of the wrapping paper. And I told you I was gonna have to match it, and I thought that's gonna be difficult. So I went and cut that little sliver off of a piece, the width of the area that I need. So I cut that off so that when I line up another piece underneath here, I'm just lining up white. Hopefully that will make any imperfections in my seam a little less obvious. Now I would love to actually do the bottom piece first, but I don't want to cut the top piece. So I think I'm going to put this up, but maybe not attach the bottom piece in the hopes that this will overlap that bottom piece just a little bit. I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to try it. So one of the videos that I watched, a girl used her hot glue gun to put the wallpaper on. I don't think I would do that if I needed a pristine wall when it came off, but I'm going to try it because I'm going to tile over this when it comes down. So I just did a little zigzag of hot glue at the top to anchor it. I'm going to finish this off right here, and then this is leaving it loose at the bottom so that hopefully I can slide that patch underneath. So I'm gonna stop filming because I need two hands to finish this off. All right, so I cut a piece to go on the bottom, the same width as the piece that I used on the top, but I messed up. I did it the same width, but because I need to line up the pattern and I want the buildings lined up the where they're supposed to be here and here, I didn't have enough because it needed to jog over a little bit. So that one is waste. Good thing it's just wrapping paper. And I've cut another one that hopefully is long enough. So I've anchored the paper about halfway up. And now I'm going to try to strategically place that little strip on the bottom. After I've trimmed off the first piece, it's going to end up being a few inches. So this is going to be a little bit tedious, but we're going to figure it out. Right, I don't know if you can see this, but on the top piece, you can just barely see the chimney on these little pink buildings. So I'm lining up the chimneys. I've given myself a lot of slack on the bottom because I can trim that after it's in place. So this is just gonna be really slow and tedious and getting it all lined up. So I straight up had to lay on the floor, but I have gotten almost all of this lower piece glued in place. This piece is still loose from about 3 stripes down. So I'm gonna finish out this corner right here and then try to glue this smooth. The seam's not great, but it's at the bottom. Hopefully people are gonna notice the top. Here we go. All right, as you can see, I still need to do some trimming on this side and on the bottom. I thought that I had done it perfect. And then I tore that little corner right there, but that's okay. We're just gonna put something cute on the floor and cover that up. So now I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife and a straight edge and cut this corner, and then I'll figure out how I'm gonna cut this bottom. Okay, she's finished. So a few tips. If you are gonna try to do this, I would limit myself to those taller rolls of wrapping paper, you know, the ones that come in probably 4 feet tall instead of 3 feet. That would have made it a lot easier if I had not had to seam it, but I think the seam looks okay if you're not really looking at it. Also this side, so this is old house. Of course, you know, nothing is level and plumb. In hindsight, I think I left extra over here and trimmed it off with the X-Acto, and I tried to use that factory edge over here. That would probably look a little bit better if I had done an overlap there too and trimmed it. But it's like a $3 project. It's gonna distract me from wanting to tile this Christmas when I don't have time. I think that the wrapping paper is perfect. It's got all the colors in the room. It's got the pink, the green. My bedding has this kind of cranberry color. All right, so I told you last time we were done. I think we really are done this time. I love seeing it in the background. I think this is the way the mantle's gonna stay. But I did see a video where you hot glue garland around your television. So we'll think on that one. Until then, the mantle is officially completed for this Christmas. Oh, hey, guess what? I wasn't done. I kept watching reels and I decided I had to decorate my television. So I did this about 2 weeks ago and it's starting to fall right here. So I'm gonna show you how I did it as we repair this. So you might recall I told you I had bought a beaded garland to go in my mantle and then ended up not using it. I was gonna return it, I had every intention to, but this is it. And I'm so glad it was a happy accident because I love it here. Now, I just used a hot glue gun, glued this to the television. I started trying to glue the presents and the balls and that did not work, but these little disc-like pieces stuck really well. This has been up about 2 weeks and we've had one little fall right there. So I'm heating up the hot glue gun. We're gonna pop it up there and give it a repair. One thing I learned that I might do a little bit different is how I did the bottom. This little dip right here had to happen because that's the remote sensor and I couldn't cover that up. So I started kind of mimicking that and then I kind of ran out because this is where this corner meets that corner. So next year, I think I will make this more taut and then just do that one little dip in the corner. I think it'll be fine. All right, let's see if the glue gun is hot. I don't know if you can see, but there's no glue left on the television. I was a little worried about that, but there's absolutely none. There was glue left on the back of this disc. I just pulled that off. You can see it took a little bit of the glitter off of the ornament, but there's still plenty of that paint left on. If you have a special ornament that you really don't want to damage, I'm not sure I would do this with the hot glue, but it worked for me. So we're gonna try it again, pop it back in place. All right, the hot glue gun is hot and I need 2 hands. So I have you precariously set up down there. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do is just, I don't know if you can see this, I'm doing a big glob of hot glue and literally just sticking it to the TV. I'll deal with all these little hot glue strings later. I will say I'm just gonna hold this one in place till it sets up. When I was working on all the other ones, I actually was just using tape to hold it till it's set up. Okay, I think I can get by with one hand now. So I am literally just gonna hold that in place. I was really careful not to upset the ones on either side. If you pull too hard, they'll come right down. So this is not a project for a TV, maybe that you move around a lot. This one is one of those that you can swing around, but I never do that. So we're just gonna leave our finger there for a few more minutes. Okay, we're gonna let go and see how it works. So far, so good. All right, all done. I thought this was gonna be a short little video, but it turns out it may have to be a 2-part series. So anyway, thanks for watching me decorate my bedroom for the holidays. Come back soon, maybe more Christmas content to follow. Merry Christmas.